That's the perfect reaction. All right, come on, hop in the chat here, fellas. Let's get into it. This is a safe space. Therapy for everyone. Dr. Rogers. Well, Dr. Rogers is a real person. Can I call you Dr. Rogers then? Because that's stolen valor from your father, right?
That's mad stolen valor. I don't know if you can hear my voice. It's a bit of a flu game tonight.
Yeah, I was about to say, you sound down in the dumps. I think, were you hanging out in Stillwater tonight? My gosh, man. YouTube back end is almost ready to roll. Ladies and gentlemen, get in this chat, please and thank you.
They stormed the court? Yuck.
Yeah, dude, a kid stormed the court before, like, the time expired. He was just in his...
when it was over.
Everybody, get in the chat right now. We are. This is gonna be an interesting show. Come on in.
Get on in here, folks. We are tweeting out YouTube so we can get that traffic in here. Come on now.
Come on now.
Come on, boy.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ooh.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Houston, we have a problem. That's how we're starting off Saturday's show. All right.
Houston's not going to have any problems.
The people in the chat shout out. He said the regression continues. Rob Wright is so bad. 17-6 incoming. All right. We'll get to everything. Don't worry. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, we got that YouTube Schlink Pro posted.
Perfect. Everybody lock in. Man, that was an ugly game, Chase.
That was an ugly game. It's been an ugly few weeks, Carter.
Woo! You can hear in Chase's voice the depression.
I'm getting a little sick. There's a bug going around. Am I also depressed?
Yeah, I was going to say. I was like, we're going to pretend the depression isn't real.
I have a take. I've been marinating that I'm ready to let loose tonight.
All righty. Well, let me
not really a take, more of just I just have something I need to say. Something I need to say about this experience.
Do you have something to tell me, Chase?
No, it's
quitting. You're quitting the show. You're like, they lost 3 straight. I'm done.
What's that one Carolina Panthers podcast that was like, they just suck so bad we have to stop, and then the Panthers went on a run and made the playoffs.
Meow Mix kind of saved the season for us. I'm gonna right before we start here, gonna talk about some chats right here. I have so many bad things to say. This team has talent. We've seen it. Kevin Young has failed to put the pieces together. This is my favorite one. Basketball is a stupid sport. No one should ever watch it again. That's what I like to see. That's the level I'm at right now. But anyhow, all right, let's get this thing rocking and rolling. Chase, you ready?
I'm ready, man. Ready as I'll ever be. Let's do it.
Let's do this thing. Everything looking good. You looking good, Chase? Yeah, I think we're looking great. All right.
I'm not. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, everything's fine. That's a sweet shirt, by the way. But anyhow, all right. 3, 2, 1. We're live. We are live right now on the Field of 68 Podcast Network YouTube channel and on Church Ball Pod on Twitter. It is Wednesday, February 4th. We are live right now after BYU loses 99-92 against Oklahoma State. Chase, I'm going to start first real quick. 2 things I want to preface before we really dive into things. This could be a weird show. First things first. Credit to Oklahoma State. Steve Lutz and that team, we talked about in the preview, they are a well-coached team, and they proved it tonight. A lot of good stuff, dropping 99 on this BYU team. Well-deserved for Steve Lutz and them. They were zipping the ball. They were moving. They wanted it more. Great for the Cowboys. They should be on the bubble. I'm hoping to see them in the tournament. Great for Oklahoma State and Steve Lutz and company. Secondly, and more importantly, if you're expecting a positive show and you don't like negativity, I'm going to tell you right now, there are 20 other BYU shows you can go watch right now. Just go ahead and tune out and go watch that show. because we're going to be honest here and we're going to call it like it is, because what we watched tonight was just simply unacceptable. What we've watched the last 3 games is simply unacceptable for a team that has national title aspirations, and you can't say that about this team at this point. So go ahead, do yourself a favor. If you want to leave, great. If you want to stay, we're going to call it like it is, and this is how it's going to go. Chase, the floor is yours.
Yeah, we're going to be blunt. And I invite you all in the chat to go ahead and rant. Keep it clean. We won't read it if it's not.
Yeah, no swear words, man. It's a rated G show, man. I'm not. Yeah. People are listening to this, and the kids, they got kids in the car. I'm not, and I can't read too. I'm struggling reading some of these chats live. It's hard to vet them out live.
Yeah, but hey, go for it, folks, because that's what we're going to be doing. I think we all deserve it at this point. I feel like we've been building up to this a bit, Karter, where we just have never really been satisfied, even with the wins, even with the fun moments, even with the amazing Richie moments in games, the amazing AJ games, the Rob Wright buzzer beater 3 in the Garden. Everything just felt off still. We maybe tried to convince ourselves and trick ourselves that it was going to be okay, that they could win this way, that they could do it. All the comebacks and everything has been leading to, I think, this game. And you got to give credit to Oklahoma State. Like you said, I'm not going to say anything more because it's not like this is the worst team on planet Earth, but this is just not a game good teams lose. And I know, good teams do fall sometimes. And you see number 1s and number 2s and number 3s lose on the road to Rutgers randomly, or Northwestern gets a big win. I think Michigan State lost to Minnesota tonight on the road. I would feel a lot better if this was a one-off thing, but it's not. We've seen this coming, and we've seen the signs on the wall. Here's the take I've been working on. Not really a take. It's more just my personal gripe. This is the most miserable experience I've had as a fan rooting for a team. I know that sounds
okay.
Hold on.
Out.
Chill.
Boston.
Let me explain. Let me explain.
That's how we're starting off the show.
I'm saying
that's how we're starting off the show. Man, it was so tough watching something. Mac Jones. Oh, we had that one year where we tanked with the Celtics.
Let me talk.
We didn't.
Karter, I've had some crappy moments. I'm not going to act like my fan life's been hard. I love all the Boston teams and been able to watch them succeed. Very blessed. And I temper my expectations for BYU. So, 2017 football is like, all right, we suck, but like we suck. And, that slump in basketball, or even losing, the Mark Pope era, being able to get a March Madness win. That was hard, but this is so hard because of what I see, the potential that is there, the expectations that we had, the flashes of greatness that just then gets backed up by 2 tons of garbage basketball that lead to these awful wins and even, losses. And even the wins aren't satisfying. That's what I mean by this. I know I'm sounding like a baby. I'm overreacting right now. I'm going to be objective the rest of the show because that's my job. But this is my one take. As a fan, this has been the hardest team to root for. And it can be turned around in an instant. I know they're still really good. I still have a lot of love for these guys. I don't have anything against them personally. But this is just tough to watch potential wasted and to see a team underachieve so blatantly in front of our eyes. And for them to give us these tasers, these tastes, these nuggets. I know there's been injuries. I know there's been weird stuff, and college basketball is in a weird phase. But to just see this not come to fruition like it should, and it's February, has been so just frustrating. It's been so frustrating to see. And it came to a point tonight. It's been frustrating for months. Since the beginning of the season, we thought this. We had the first half of Delaware, and we're like, what is going on? And they could just never pull away from even the bad teams, right? And this is kind of what it's come down to tonight, giving up 99 points on a Wednesday night in Stillwater in a game where AJ had 36 and was really, really good. And just couldn't get even close to winning in the final 2 minutes, and you're fouling over and over. It just has been really, really awful to root for. Now that's done with the fan chase. We're going to move on to objective, and he's going to have bad things to say. Don't worry. But that's my emotion, and I've checked it now out the door, and we can get on with this show. Man, my voice is struggling.
My voice is gone.
It's God. They've sucked the life out of me. This team.
All right, I'll go ahead then. 99 points to Oklahoma State. I understand the free throws made it look a little worse at the end. I watched this game with my own eyes. 99 points. 99 points. You have length. You have athleticism. This comes down to pure effort. And what we talked about in the preview was this Oklahoma State team likes to get out, run, push the ball, get downhill points in the paint, and they can make the occasional three. Look, they hit good shots tonight. Great. BYU was playing terrible defense. It was pathetic. It was pathetic on ball defense. It was the same story. Once again, this is what we talked about, Chase, in the last episode. And honestly, we'll talk about the offensive end. There's stuff on the offensive end I'm really not that concerned about, where things kind of looked a little bit better for me. Different story. On the defensive end, is the same thing. Just layups, dunks, easy points by Oklahoma State. If I hear one thing about, the refs, tonight, the free throw disparity or anything like that, BYU's fouling left and right. BYU was playing lazy on-ball defense, letting their man blow by them, and then they're swiping in at the last second. We've seen this time and time again. And Chase, it's like you said, it's all season where it's just, look, you skated by on just pure talent, but there's a reason you haven't beaten the top 4 opponents this year. And now that your confidence is taking a hit, you're not able to have these miraculous comebacks and do this on the road against an Oklahoma State team that's hey, they're a bubble team. You're going to get got by that if you play like this. It's not sustainable. And as much as we dogged it for the ball movement and stuff on the offensive end, and there's turnovers that weren't great, obviously, tonight, it's the defensive end. And it all starts there. And I'm going to just call it like it is, Chase. I struggle with the rotations tonight. I didn't understand it whatsoever. I didn't understand the certain matchups on defense. Poor Boscovich is getting left on an island against quick guards and just getting blown past. And I almost think it's like, how we talked about how they wanted to kind of copy that Jazz Rudy Gobert defense where they funnel everything into Gobert, into Keba Keita. But Keba Keita is getting stretched out, so then there's not enough help defense down low. And then when Ahmed's in there, he can't play that role like Keba Keita can, and he's getting absolutely cooked down there. It's a disaster. It's a full-blown disaster on the defensive end.
You couldn't have said it better, Karter. That's the biggest hit, and why it feels so sucky to watch them sometimes, because it is just effort. 90% of the defensive end is just how much do you freaking care. And when you get in these situations, you're going to have to foul because you're out of position. You get lazy. You reach in, all this stuff. I mean, people want to talk about the free throw disparity. BYU fouled a ton. And you know what? Didn't even kill them. Oklahoma State missed 12 free throws. So I get that wasn't the story of the game. The story of the game was the worst defensive effort I've seen from the team this year. And just letting dudes shout out Ethan Holiday for bringing back the random BYU players and putting a smile on my face. How dog? Welcome back. Anyway, all right. Here's what I see from BYU, and here's what you see. I'll start with what you see good defensive teams do on the defensive end of the floor. It's not just like I get it. These Oklahoma State guards are good. I mean, Roy is an amazing shooter, and you get to respect him from 35 feet and in. And Curry was getting to the basket, and Victory Miller just getting to the basket finishing. These are good guards. It's tough to stay in front of them all the time, right? But it was blow by after blow by after blow by. And the reason it is, and this is what good teams do defensively. You look at some of these old Houston teams, the way back when, Press Virginia, they dictate and act rather than react. They don't wait for the action to happen and then start their movement. They get up in their grill and they initiate the energy. They initiate the movement. Good defensive teams will dictate where you go on the floor with how good they are defensively. What BYU does, all except a couple of guys, I'd say Richie Saunders and Demon Boop are the two that I really see actually do this. And it's they get the ball, their guy gets the pass, they're up, man. They're making the movement happen. They're being aggressive to the point of attack. They're not just sitting back in their stance with their hands out and being like, what's he going to do? Well, when he makes his move, I'm going to move. No, you need to show a little bit of just spunk, and just, it's a stupid word, but you need to be up there and be like, look, man, I'm playing defense on you. I'm going to slap the floor. I'm going to get up in your grill and do this stuff. But they're just sitting back and waiting for these guys to make their drive. And by the time that's happened, you got 2 feet on the ground. It's game over. These guys are going to get right by you. It's just, there's no energy. There's no urgency to get up and defend your guy. You watch BYU's rotations. It's just like, my guy caught it. I'm going to put my hand up, put my arms out. That's it. You got to, it's hard to describe, but that's why it's so hard to teach defense, especially man to man. Like, yeah, you can be super quick. You can be super twitchy. You can be long. You can be athletic, all this stuff. But there's just an innate sense of, you're just not getting by me. You are not scoring, that almost everyone on this BYU team completely lacks. I mean, they're almost the opposite.
Yeah, well, that's been our point of why we've wanted Boop playing, because Boop doesn't react. He's in there. He's in your grill. He's wreaking havoc left and right. And I mean, it wasn't just a single player tonight. It was almost the entire team tonight was just getting absolutely blown by. And it was from the jump, Chase. I want to go back to a comment here in the chat from JT1425, if it lets me load it real quick. He said, chemistry, no chemistry on this team, whatever. Body language was horrible. I texted you at the under 16 timeout. The body language was horrendous right from the start, where, AJ's body language wasn't great to start the game, but he figured it out, settled into the game. He was fine. But everybody else, like Richie was trying it. Richie was forcing. I'll never fault Richie for what Richie's doing. He's always bringing it every single night. But these other guys, man, the body language was terrible. It was like they didn't want to be there. It felt like an NBA Tuesday night. It felt like I was watching the New Orleans Pelicans play against the Charlotte Hornets on a Tuesday night League Pass game, where it's, hey, we're down 10. All right, I'm good. I don't really care. It's game 51 of 82, and it's January. I don't care. It's on League Pass. I'm good. That's what it felt like. And at some point, this is not okay. Like, you texted me this during the game. Like, it feels like they're an NBA team that's just waiting for the playoffs to come, and just you feel like you're the Warriors, where it's like, oh, we don't need to try in the regular season. It's like, I don't see it. That's not going to work in March Madness. You might win a game or two. You might make a run to the second weekend. You're not winning 6 games. And this team was built, and you spent this kind of money, and you brought in the number 1 overall pick or number 2 overall pick to do that.
I get it. I don't want to be in Stillwater on a Wednesday night either. I mean, that place is cheeks. But this is what you're getting paid to do. First off, and you can't afford to take these nights off. There isn't 82 games. You're not playing, back to back in Charlotte, in Milwaukee. Like, this is conference play. This is the dog days of February. This is what set teams apart. There's zero urgency on this team on either end of the floor until they get down 20. Then if you guys are like, oh, we got to score. Yeah, man. It just was such an opportunity, I think, for BYU to show us something. I feel like it bounced back, and it was a good Oklahoma State team, but 99 points to anyone, I don't care who it is unacceptable. And it was all about defense. I don't know what much more I can say. Rotations were off, obviously. They didn't guard shooters the way they should have. They overextended on help side. The cable was being pulled out, and it was layup after layup after layup. I mean, they had 25 layup attempts. Excuse me, I'm looking at BYU's. 30 layup attempts. 30.
I was about to say, I was like,
21 of 30 and 3 dunks. I mean, points in the paint, they had 52, Karter. And they were hitting 3. Like,
yeah,
it's about pride.
You almost waste a 50% from the field game. You waste almost a 43.3. Like, if BYU shooting 43% from 3 in a game, I'm saying BYU wins that game blindly by 10 plus. How many games this year, if BYU shoots 43% from 3, are they winning by double digits? No problem. And they still came in this game, and they should have lost by more. Oklahoma State was terrible from the free throw line. And this should have been this was a double-digit game. I don't care if it was a 7-point game. This was a double-digit loss against Oklahoma State. Yeah, man. The turnovers are bad.
Dude. It's like Tom Brady breaking the record for most yards at a Super Bowl, but he loses because the defense against the Eagles and Nick Foles decides that they just going to let the. I mean, 99 points.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm over it. I did like a little bit from the offense tonight, Carter. Do we want to go there, or are we still?
I was just going to say from the offense, there were like the 13 turnovers from the big three. I get it. They obviously weren't great. That's like obviously that's not an ideal part of the game, but it's the defense is the bigger problem there.
So, it's all about the defense.
So anyhow, let's go to the offensive side. What do you want to bring up?
Okay. You texted me this right off the bat, so credit to you. They clearly were trying to do more off-ball stuff. I mean, it was obvious from the get-go. A lot more moving, a lot more cutting. We finally saw like a backdoor dump down for the first time in months. AJ was really good off on that side of the floor. They shot really well from three. A lot of that was just Richie, obviously, and AJ carrying it there. But even like you got like a pretty good game from Moo, 3 threes and stuff. I did enjoy seeing them work some stuff off the floor, going in transition and picking up the pace. So that is a huge, huge plus. 92 points should win you a game, Carter. It should win you a game. And Oklahoma State's not the best team defensively, and so they were able to take advantage of that and mismatches and all that stuff. And AJ, again, was really, really good making shots. But it was refreshing to see them clearly make some adjustments on that end of the floor and clearly decide, hey, this whole five out 1v1 thing isn't working. Let's get some other stuff going. They did tonight. It's hard to feel good about anything, but just like the sliver, I'm not going to say it feels good. It's just there's some change happening, and I'm recognizing that.
Yeah, you definitely saw it on the offensive end, especially in the first half. And there was a couple situations where they'd get Kaba. They'd have these off-ball screens rolling and everything, and Kaba would be the one that has to dump it down low. And it worked one time. I think it was Dybantsa, if I remember correctly. And he missed a couple because he didn't get the pass out quick enough. But like you said, there was more flow and everything to the offense. And even like usually I get worried because when Rob Wright goes to the bench, it's like, oh crap, who's going to be able to initiate this offense and everything. But they were able to figure it out even with Rob on the bench. I really thought AJ offensively played once he settled into the game after about 5-6 game minutes into the game, things slowed down for him and he was calm. He was able to pass out of double teams a little bit better. He was making a shot. He settled down and he played great. Richie was trying to get it done. It's so funny because you look at the big three and you go, oh, 5 of 10 from Rob, 13 of 20 from AJ, 8 of 16 from Richie. And you still lost. You still gave up 99 points, and you still lost this game. Crazy. I know I keep saying it. It's just what I'm going to say constantly throughout this podcast tonight, but it's just all on the defensive end, and it all stems from there.
It all stems from there. Yeah, I don't really know what I would say. That tape film for that team should be very ugly. I mean, just the amount of just sheer blow-bys is going to be. I mean, you could count a million of them.
We put the title on this episode. We should probably actually go to the segment for this, actually. Are you panicking?
Yeah. I'm panicking. Button's been unlocked with the nuke key. The red button's been pressed. This team's not who we thought they were. It's official. They have a chance to make some runs. They could always turn some things around. They still have a month in a week or so until conference tournament time, and you really get into March Madness and stuff. They're a tournament team. They're probably going to end up winning one of these games at home. Their next 3 toughest against these ranked opponents are going to be in Provo. But I've seen enough now that this team's not who I thought they were. Unfortunately, they're amazingly talented. The big three is incredible. I still really enjoy watching them in moments, especially on the offensive end. But it's just not who we thought, and it's not a Final Four caliber team. We were wrong about that. A second weekend at this point would be really, really awesome. It would feel pretty like we stole something there, and that's just not good enough for the amount of talent you have. And so that's what makes it so frustrating is that they just have completely underperformed. I know that sounds dramatic. 5 losses, but you've underperformed now. And we can all see it.
It's how do you define panicking? If panicking is, are they a national title contender? Well, absolutely not to this point. How could you say so? They can't beat the best teams they've played all season, the toughest games they've played. They haven't beat anybody. So I'd smash the panic button on that one. I still think they can make the second weekend just based on the pure I think their talent by itself can make it to the second weekend, even if they're not playing their best ball and everything. Even if they all end up being like a 6th seed in the tournament, they get favorable matchups going in. I think they can definitely go to the second weekend, but kind of with you. Like if it doesn't get figured out on the defensive end and there's not that buy-in, which it's pretty tough. Like eventually, like, look, man, last year's BYU team, yeah, they turned it around. They had that unbelievable February stretch, winning like 8 straight and whatnot. That's kind of an anomaly in this sport. Like watching that was so crazy last year because that crap just doesn't happen year after year.
Yeah.
That's more likely a one-off thing. Yeah. I still hold out a little bit of hope that this coaching staff can figure it out and turn it around. They have the talent to do so. Maybe they figure out the right lineups. Maybe there's a buy-in. Maybe they just need to get one big one against Houston or one of these other teams. Get a big win out of there, and then the confidence and the floodgates open from there. That's the hope. That's the optimistic side of this, but I'm with you. I think you hit it now.
If that turnaround is going to happen, and I really hope it does, and I think it's possible, just so we're clear.
It is possible.
I've hit the panic button, but I'm not hitting the give up button. It's possible, but it's got to start Saturday. I mean, the pressure on that game, Houston. We'll do a preview. We're not going to talk a lot about.
we can talk about it right now. This is the most pressure this coaching staff and these guys, this BYU team has had going into a game. Like last season, it was bleak, but at least last season you had the excuses, or excuse is a strong word, but excuse of, hey, Kevin Young, this is his first year, adjustments and everything. Like, you know, it's tough to build out a team when he got hired late into the cycle. You're recruiting late into the portal and everything. You had to go into Europe to get your guys, and they were still able to figure out, which was made it even more impressive from last year. But going into Saturday, man, you go into all off season. It's, you know, we're building this team to be able to compete with the Houstons of the world. You haven't won any of your top 4 games this year. You're on a 3-game losing streak. You gave up 99 points on the road to a team that's way off the bubble at the moment, and you have Houston in your own gym on Saturday. I mean, it doesn't get, you know, you can say must win for the tournament, blah, blah, blah. You can debate that all you want. This is a must win confidence-wise because let's say Houston comes in and looks like they did last year and bullies BYU. I mean, it gets real ugly. You start having some real ugly conversations after that, and we start having more and more podcasts like this.
Yeah, then you're absolutely right. The pressure's unbelievable. I like this question from Yegor Demon fan.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. What's worse, a 2023 loss at Pepperdine or at Oklahoma State with this team?
It's because it's based on expectations. But like this one probably feels worse in the moment, but like 2023 Pepperdine, it's just like it is what it is at this point. Like you knew your fate with that team. It felt like.
Yeah, the expectations with this one make it really hard. But Oklahoma State's an undeniably better team than that Pepperdine team.
Yeah, Pepperdine. I mean, any of those WCC losses are worse. Let's just call it like it is. Like, how humiliating was it when you're watching? Like, I'm just watching on these crappy streaming apps in the WCC, where you're just like, what on earth am I watching? And then you're watching like an empty half gym in Loyola. Like, why is BYU down 9?
And they're trap environments. We talked about this Oklahoma State game being a trap game. I think the crowd was pretty good for an Oklahoma State game. Obviously, BYU coming into the town, ranked matchup, all that stuff. But that's when you need like that chemistry, that buy-in the most. And they clearly don't have it. And you can tell a lot in the first, like you said, at the under 4 timeout. What are the vibes? What's the body language like? How is the bench reacting to this stuff? How are guys who are getting subbed in and subbed out? What do they look like? It's those little things. I'm not saying it's the only indicator, but you could just so tell that these guys aren't exactly meshing together the way they should be. And they just aren't buying fully into whether it's the system or just like the love of basketball and like we want to go win all these games and play, because that's what they look like. But that's what I guess leads to a slow start on a Wednesday night in Stillwater when you don't want to be there. You got off the private charter jet, all this stuff. Like, that's what that looks like, man.
And what just makes that so much worse is, like, I can understand, like, if BYU is kind of fat and happy coming into this game, it's, you know, you're coming off a big win and you have the letdown spot of Oklahoma State. I get that. You know, you're on the road at Stillwater and everything. But you really, really needed a, hey, get right game. Let's get back on the track. We just had two kind of embarrassing losses in a way. Let's get back on the train track, show everyone who we actually are, and you put out that kind of performance and everything. Going back, someone in the chat, I can't find it right now. Someone asked, I think it was Wise Gamora, so, or maybe it was, there's a couple wise people in the chat, but shout out you, whoever asked it. They asked, why is genuine? He said, genuine question. Why is BYU not getting any fast break points? And it's a simple answer. It's because of the defensive end. Defense. That's how this works.
Yeah. Honestly, this is one of the better nights for fast break points in a long time. 22.
But
because of the pace of this game.
Yeah, that goes back to our preview where I was like, look, I want Oklahoma State to dictate this offense or dictate this game tempo wise, because I think BYU with a little more urgency, having to move the ball a little bit more, and getting out in transitions going to help them on the offensive end and find themselves a little bit. And on the offensive end, they did. It just wasn't there defensively.
Yeah. There's two things. One, the first one you nailed. You gotta force turnovers and stops. I mean, even like long rebounds, that's what sparks a break. If a guy's missing a 3-footer, then you're not gonna have like the numbers to go get on a break, even if but you're letting Oklahoma State get all up in the paint. And the second thing is, even when they do get on fast breaks, this team is unbelievably selfish in the open court. I mean, I don't know why. They hate passing in these fast break opportunities. And I'm not saying that like
they went to the school of RJ Barrett in the open court.
My gosh, dude! Like every guy who gets it thinks it's his turn to score, and it's like you got to look up. I don't know. They're just unbelievably selfish when it comes to this open floor. They're all talented and they finish often, but sometimes it's like there was a layup. There's 3 layups right there for you. I mean, Richie Saunders is one of the bigger culprits. He holds onto the ball too much when he's on the fast break. I love Richie to death, but man, sometimes I'm just like, you got to look up here, brother. And he turns it over. He forces a shot. Those are the 2 big things. And it should be so much better. This team's built to just lope down the court and score buckets at ease. They're just making it hard on themselves.
52 points in the paint for Oklahoma State. It's just so unacceptable. Like, absolutely unacceptable.
Dude. Unacceptable.
Like, what?
Unbelievable.
What are you smoking here, man?
I mean, they made them look like the 2017 Warriors tonight. I mean, it was. Yeah.
Right now, Portland and Gonzaga are in a doozy right now. The shout out to WCC. I want it on record.
Way.
Shout out a quick plug. Karter Cast College Basketball. My guy Shoot the Rock is here in the chat right now. He was on with me. Not last episode, but the episode before. We did buy sell teams. Chase sold all my Gonzaga stock. I think Gonzaga is one of the most fraudulent top teams in the country. Just wanted that out there.
I think it's a great move. Yeah, I totally agree. Lenard's got him as a 2 seed right now. Can't wait to fade that.
Hey, UConn's my other team. I'm waiting on these guys. Except when Brandon Mullen's back, they're freaking good. So I don't know. I just don't. I think there's a ceiling to that UConn team, but that's a different story. This is a BYU podcast. Let's get to some chats here, Chase. Shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
A lot of people are just making just a lot of venting going on. I don't blame you guys. Jack said, making it my life's work to investigate if we are cursed because we brought in a G League player. And I brought this up on Karter Cast College Basketball too, Chase. Look at all the teams that brought in G League guys.
Bama and Baylor.
Like Bama, they get the big win against A&M tonight. We'll see how that looks by the end of the season, but Bama's had a down year. Baylor has had their worst year yet under Scott Drew. BYU struggling with the expectations they were dealt with. Even Louisville, their G League guys not even playing, and they're struggling. There is the curse of having a G League player is real, Chase. The college basketball gods are disappointed in them, and they are punishing these teams for it.
I'm actually fully bought into that theory. And honestly, I don't mind it. I'm sad BYU got sucked into it, but I don't like the whole G League thing in the first place. So I subscribe to that one.
Yeah, I'm with. I don't like the G League moves and everything like that. I think there's a more nuanced discussion with it when you talk about
Jack. If you figure it out, let us know, brother. Let us know your findings. Can't wait.
From EB1624, this team just doesn't have it. Have AJ chuck 50 shots a game and call it good for the rest of the year. Moving on.
It's a slippery slope, my friend.
Taylor in the chat said, I have so much respect for KY, but at what point do we put more blame on the coaching staff?
Right now. We're going to do it right now. I love this coaching staff. I think they're awesome. Everyone has moments. Right now, they're having a down moment. I don't understand the rotations exactly. The Bosco Beto minutes were atrocious. I don't understand why Boop doesn't play more. I understand he fouls. I understand he gets out of position. But it just seems to me like he offers so much more than he's taking away. And whoever is scouting these teams, I think they're missing the mark a little bit. The big one on that one, Karter, as you well know, was the Arizona game. And the defense is atrocious, man. And at one point, yes, the players are out there making the plays, but there's accountability around the board when you give up 99 points to this Oklahoma State team.
Yeah, it's more so just how do you get these guys to buy in on the defensive end? And like I said, the spin zone and the optimistic way of looking at all this is, one win can change a lot for a team and building off that kind of momentum. But at the same time, like, I don't know, Chase. You say, okay, they can go get the big win against Houston, but does that make you feel totally confident going forward about this team?
I mean, it makes me feel a whole lot better.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm praying for it. Here's the thing too, like, it's been the lack of the adjusting. They've just tried. They've been banging their heads against the wall with some of this stuff, being like, it'll work. And it just hasn't. I know it's led to some really close comebacks and wins and stuff, but it's clear the product in the court is not optimal, not even close.
And Blen Beast brings up a great point in the chat. He said, we couldn't defend last year either. We have the athleticism to be one of the best teams in the country, but instead we stay in front of our man. We can't stay in front of our man.
Yeah, man. And they're good enough to do it. They're quick enough to do it. It's in here.
What's the number one thing we always talk about, Chase? 80% of defense is just effort.
Yeah, it's legit. It's what's underneath the jersey. It's the Disney movie stuff, man. But it's true. It's true.
I think we're a couple of, say this losing streak continues, say it goes into a 4 or 5 game losing streak and things start to look a lot more bleak. At what point do you bring up the point of, look, guys are getting a lot of NIL money? At what point is it just, no, we're kind of comfortable just taking the money and not trying as hard on the defensive end?
I think that's dangerous to, we don't know anything about these guys, other than what we get to see on the court. And so I would never like to think that, and I don't think that's a possibility, but it's going to be a discussion amongst a lot of people, and that perception is going to be out there. And so for people who might be listening to this right now might think that, or they're going to see a tweet or something that they think that. What I'm more subscribed to is you spent a lot of money very concentrated on a few players, and then did you have enough for the supporting cast? And what did you do to build this team up in the offseason? And was that enough? That's something I'm a little bit more thinking long and hard about right now.
Yeah. And to be honest, I know I brought up the point because I do think that's going to be a discussion. I think that's what the national media is going to run with if BYU does continue on a losing skid.
It's worth bringing up.
Because you look at a team like Kentucky who spent $22 million. That was, Mark Pope has been getting destroyed all season for that, where it's, look, you bring in all these guys, none of them are buying in. And it's a fair discussion at that point because there's a lot of money at stake for this kind of stuff. So moving back, we had some EB said, curious to hear y'all's thoughts on how many games do you think BYU will win the rest of the way? Schedule is not on our side.
Yeah, that's a great question. I was just pulling up the schedule as we spoke, Carter, because I wanted to get this done. We talked a lot in the preview, which I would say go listen to, but there's no use in listening to a preview. The game's already over. We did talk about moving forward. They have 4 really big games left. Obviously, Houston Saturday. You play at Arizona, number 1 team in the country, who I would imagine will still be at that point. Still waiting for them to fall. They might just not. They will. But anyway, you have Iowa State at home, and you have Texas Tech again at home, and so there's a real chance you win one. At this point, 1 would be awesome. But the tricky part is some of these frisky games still coming up. At Baylor, look, I know they've been playing awful, but I've seen BYU play on the road now. So do I trust them in that game? Not at all. Versus Colorado, you get them at home. Colorado's a bad team. That's a win. Jimmer retirement. UCF at home. UCF's not a bad team. Bubble team as well. Then you have that weird road trip, West Virginia, Cincinnati. I mean, I think they fly back and forth, but that's a lot of traveling, and that's a whole week away from your gym. Man. So Houston, Baylor, Colorado, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games left. I think BYU goes 5-4 over the last 9. I think they win one of these big ones at home, and I think they lose another one that they shouldn't, and then they just win the rest that they should. I think that's what the recipe is here. What do you think?
I think I'm going 6-3. But I agree with you. I think it's 6-3. I think it's a little bit better. I do think they fumble one they probably shouldn't, whether that's, at West Virginia or at Cincinnati or whatever on that weird road trip. But I think they knock off 2 of those guys at the top still. I'm holding out a little bit of faith in this team still. I know they can turn it around. I see the potential in this team. Eventually it turns it around. I do have the faith in this coaching staff to turn it around. I'll go 6-3 because I think the talent can win those games by itself, even if that buy-in isn't there all the way.
I love that. I think we need to be a little bit positive. If there was ever, like we said, if there's ever time to be a wake-up call, it's right now. I mean, you and I kind of texted. We're like, after the Kansas game, was this our Utah, at post-Utah on the couch moment, where if you've been a long-time listener, go back to last year, we were on the couch after that Utah game, really wondering what this team's going to be and talking about NIT dates. And that's what it changed. But you were saying it. This is the moment on the couch. This is the beginning of the DVD, as they say. It has to be. And if it's not, fine. You'll be a 7 or 8 seed. You'll be in the big dance. Then at that point, hey man, let's get frisky. You have one of, if not the most talented player in the country, and an awesome big 3, and let's see what you can do. But I have faith, man. I'm not giving up. I'm panicking, but I'm not giving up.
Yeah, like you said, I'm not going to fully give up on the season or anything because this can turn around. One big win it can turn. Even you look at Kentucky right now. Look, Kentucky's not a national title contender by any means, but ever since Kentucky got that big time win against LSU, and they had just that lucky win, they had their own version of the Christian Laettner play. You can say it's a meaningless game, whatever. But that has kind of spearheaded their season, and they lost a couple on the way since, but they've had a lot more buy-in, and things are starting to flow and come together for Kentucky at this point. BYU's got to get that big win, and it's got to come Saturday against Houston. I think we got to declare it a full must-win.
By all technicality, it is not, but it's a 99% must-win. I mean, I gotta have it.
For the mental, spiritual, physical, all that aspect, yes. But the literal bubble, getting into the tournament aspect, no. But you're getting into the point where you're losing these Big 12 games, and all of a sudden you're like, are we going to be playing on Wednesday of the Big 12 tournament? We're not even going to get it's like you're going to be like the 7th seed in the Big 12 tournament at this point.
Yeah. And you got to think about NCAA tournament seeding, man. You don't want to be an 8 seed or a 7 seed. That sucks.
Yeah, your second round games, like, hey, you know what your reward is? You get to play Duke in South Carolina. Congratulations.
Congrats. Yeah, good win on that first one.
Let's answer this question. What would you rather take? A win against Iowa State and Texas Tech, or a win at Arizona but lose others? Great question.
This is such a good question by Chase's bro-in-law. Shout him out.
Who is that?
It's my brother-in-law.
I that was a joke.
Man, I think
if Arizona's undefeated to that point, I'm taking the win at Arizona.
I know, but 2 is better than 1. Come on, we got to be smart here. You got to take the 2 ranked wins. Those are two quad 1A wins.
But an undefeated win against Arizona on the road, I'm taking that one.
Then we're split because I take the both. You got to take the 2 quad 1A wins over just the 1.
I want to see this team win big. I'm gonna.
Those would still be big, man. Those are still big games.
I know. I get, like, on paper you should take the 2 ranked wins, tournament seeding, and everything on paper makes sense. Personal bias and the fact that you knock off an undefeated team on the road like that, the number 1 team in the country, I would want to beat Arizona. That's personal bias, though.
That's fair. No, I mean you're thinking with your heart. I love it. I respect it.
Yeah. But anyhow, going back into the chat, let's see here. What do we got? RPC said, if we lose Saturday, we drop out of the top 25, 100%.
Yep.
And then with this Houston game on Saturday, where it's just why I say with, like, how much momentum you can build off of that game, like, Houston has had your number more than anybody else since you joined this conference. You can say Texas Tech with their wins and everything, but Houston has straight up bullied you and taken you to the woodshed. You have gotten destroyed by Houston every single time. You have not looked like you belonged on the court once against the Houston Cougars. Going in and getting that win, it would do a lot for this team.
It would do a ton. It'd be huge. I mean, it's more mindset than anything. It'd look great on the resume. It would definitely bump up. It would keep them in the top 25. All this stuff. But you need it just for the troops. They need a win. They need to see a W in the column. 4 out of the last 5 losses. It's not going to fly.
There's some Boop love in the chat right now. That's what we need right now.
That's what we need. Shout out and
Boop. And then almost beat Houston first year at home. That is true. That is true. That LJ Cryer game. They pulled away at the end, and I think
Trevin Nell had a look like straight away wide open 3 to
win a 2-point game.
Take the lead. Yeah. With like a minute and a half left or something. And
I think you're right.
It went away from there. But yeah, they can do it. They can beat this team. That's the thing. Like, when we talk about this BYU team, it's like,
I know we're going to go into
so possible for them to just win this game. They're totally good enough.
We're going to go into the preview, and you're going to watch the film and go, all right, there's ways you can find BYU to win this game, but can they actually execute that game plan? And also, James brings up a great point in the chat. Who's guarding Kingston Fleming?
Yeah, you tell me, man. Oh, man. I mean, it's a brilliant question.
Yeah, and then, Kingston Fleming is going to dog walk us. Shout out Portland for beating Gonzaga. It makes me feel great about my take about Gonzaga. Caden Ward in the chat said, is there a chance we don't make March Madness?
It'd have to be really, really ugly. Like, we'd have to go 2-7, and that's like, oh, wow. Yeah, this team's not going to do it.
3-6 puts you on the bubble. If those 3 wins are like Baylor, Colorado, I can't remember, in like West Virginia or Cincy, and then you lose the rest, I think BYU would be firmly on the bubble at that point.
Yeah. Let's look at their quad resume real quick. because I haven't looked at it in a minute.
Believe they're 4-5 in the quad resume and undefeated in everything else.
They are 4-5 quad one, undefeated everywhere else. I mean, that's obviously a tournament record. Oklahoma State was easy quad one win, or quad one loss, excuse me. So as long as they don't blow like a really like Colorado at home, because that'll be I mean, it's all quad two left. Win the quad. There's only 3 quad two games, Karter. Win the quad two games, I think you're in. But if you lose one and then don't get any more quad ones, you're in deep doo-doo.
Yeah, but they'll make the tournament. I'm not worried about that. It's based on seeding, and like for them to have a real shot at going to the Final Four. I know teams that have been double-digit seeds and 8 seeds and everything have made it to the Final Four and had deep tournament runs. You got to be at least a 6 for me to believe in you going into this tournament to have any sort of chance. No, that's a winner. I'm saying to make like a run. Like if they go into this tournament as an 8 seed, I mean, let's say you get matched up, like I said, like you're the 8-9 game, and then you got to face Duke in the second round. Like I'm just not going to believe in that team making a Sweet 16 run or any. I mean, you got to play Michigan. I know Michigan's beatable, but at the same time, it's like you're going to trust this BYU team if they're an 8 seed at that point to go ahead and beat Michigan, who's been dominant.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, man. No one wants to see BYU.
That's the problem. Like, they have the talent. That's why this podcast and watching these games have been so frustrating. That's why all these fans in the chat right now are pissed off, Chase. It's because you see the potential, you see the talent on this roster, and then it's just not resulting in enough wins and winning big games and beating teams you should win.
Yeah, like if Duke's the 1 seed and BYU ends up as an 8 seed, and that's your second round matchup, you got to be kidding me.
Like, if you're a UConn fan, you got to face BYU in the second round. Any of these 1 seeds or 2 seeds, you got to face BYU in the second round. You're going to be pissed.
Yeah.
Unless they're playing defense like they did tonight, then maybe.
This is what I'm saying, man. This has been.
And people are saying they don't even want to watch the Houston game from both of these in the chat.
Both of these, hey yo, listen. This I'm calling it right now. This is the most depressing podcast we will do this season. I think it's only up from here. I think there are good things to come for this BYU team. All right, so I hope we're getting it all out now.
We do play Baylor, so that is the battle of the G League curse.
Baylor's is more egregious.
Yeah, I was going to say Baylor's is full blown. Like, all right, he was drafted. He was a Hornet, Chase.
He Buzz City, Karter. You gave his jersey?
Yeah. Jack said BYU becoming the Justin Herbert of college basketball. The most tournament appearances and wins without a Final Four appearance. No comment.
It's a great take.
Good news. BYU is no longer a second half team.
Someone throw me the NBA comp for this BYU team. I've been trying to think of it.
I have no idea what face I made, but it couldn't have been good.
Someone needs to clip it.
So you're saying we're beating Houston if this is our lowest low left?
I did not say that, Doug.
According to Bart Torvik, what do you think you want to play?
I'm more manifesting it.
Let's play whose line it is anyways. What do you think? Bart Torvik has it at.
Bart Torvik line. Torvik doesn't like BYU. It's in Provo. Houston. I mean, is it updated as of like the results tonight?
They have the Oklahoma State one in there. Yeah, I haven't seen the line yet, so I'm waiting to click on it.
I'm wondering what it did
BYU's 29th.
To BYU's analytics, because it was a really good offensive analytic night. Amazing. You shot great from 3, good from the field. But defense was like the worst analytic night maybe of all time. Oh, man.
I'm going Houston 5.5.
I literally was about to say that. You've already seen it, have you not? So you just
I'm looking at BYU 20. I'm looking at BYU 29th. I can tell you what the line is once you say. I'll scroll down.
Okay. I was gonna say 5.5. I'll say I'll say 6.5 after results tonight, just to be different.
5.
Yeah.
So
we were.
That's actually lower than I thought, but I think you're right with the offense getting a bunch of points tonight and looking great analytically, but the defense, they did fall below. If you look at BYU and Bart Torvik right now, I mean, they're right there with Utah State, Villanova. They're behind A&M, Clemson, St. Louis, St. John's, Indiana. Indiana's completely on the wrong side of the bubble right now, and they're above BYU at this point. I mean, pretty rough down there.
I asked for the.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I asked for the NBA comp. People are not disappointing. I mean, this was right in front of our faces. It's the Kevin Young Phoenix Suns.
Yeah.
When they hit KD, Beal, Booker. That's exactly what this is. Why am I even asking? You nailed it, Doug. There's some good answers in here. 22 bowls. Someone said Big 3 era Brooklyn Nets. They would have been in the finals if KD's foot wasn't on the line. Some good ones in here. But yeah, we're the Phoenix Suns.
I think I kind of like the Big 3 era Nets.
I kind of like the Big 3 era Nets. Yeah. But don't you think they were better than this BYU team? I mean, they should have went to the finals. Katie's
they should. They
kept them from.
But they should have went to the finals. But I could also see that being a scenario for this BYU team where it's like we're in March and AJ's toes on the line and BYU doesn't go to the Sweet 16 because of that or something like that. Or
that would be
like, couldn't you totally see that happening?
Actually, you're right, because I think this BYU team has more potential than that Phoenix Suns team had at the time.
That Big 3 Nets team screwed around in the regular season as well, too. So,
both good comps, really good comps.
Sweet 16 ceiling, question mark.
Still no, just because of this team and how talented they are. But expectation wise, yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Ceiling wise, it's still high. You still have an awesome roster, but right now the expectation is second round Sweet 16 for sure.
And if any coaching staff has done the turnaround, it's this one. But once again, it's now or never. It's February. Teams get hot in February, actually, not March. It's a lesson of this show. Remember that. That's college basketball 101 for you. Jack said, fellas need to get their joy back, need to hit Beto's at 2 a.m. after a Fuego Friday sesh. BYU would clap Houston. I think BYU would crap their pants against Houston if they had Beto's at 2 a.m. before a game.
And Fuego Friday, no less. I love it. They really do, though. Like, send them, bring all the fellows to the concerts. Come on. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we might need NBA YoungBoy. We need, like, Carolina Mike to come in and do a halftime show for this team and get them pumped up right now. Like, we need something to turn them around. Maybe the really Costco guys. Maybe we bring the Costco guys back, and that's how this team turns around. Like, we need to get crazy with these ideas, Chase.
Who would be the worst guy to bring in and talk to the team tomorrow at practice? Chat, let's get some answers. Worst guy
Belichick?
to come in. I was thinking, never mind. I mean, like, Nick Emery would not go over well.
Mark Pope?
All right. I meant more of like a realistic option.
A realistic option? I was gonna get political in my next response, but
I know you were.
Someone said Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor. Hey, he turned the season around last time.
Yeah, yeah. Cosmos Adderall said Rob Wright being the most important player on the team is making me sad lately. We do need to bring that up tonight, man. He struggled tonight, man. Oklahoma State was in his grill. He was missing bunnies. He had some decent layups and everything. I know he went 5 for 10 tonight. The turnovers were a problem for him, and just the frustration foul at the end right there, and just kind of dumb fouls. And he was getting hunted on defense quite a bit tonight. You could see Kevin Young bringing him out of the game because of that too. Yeah,
bad Rob tape for sure. This team is evolved. Excuse me, and our takes are changing. It is sad to not get to say that anymore.
You know what? Now. You know what we need before Friday against Houston? A good old Bronco Mendenhall fireside to get things
there we
ready,
go.
Rocking
That's
and rolling.
what we were. That's what we were looking for.
just a nice Bronco Mendenhall fireside that goes like half an hour late, and yeah, that's what we need.
I think you nailed it. Yeah, no refreshments either.
I'd give the fellas some pet ice cream and some Hershey's syrup.
Oh man,
no root beer though. No root beer.
No root beer.
They don't deserve it.
You can't be getting too frisky. No,
that's crazy. Yeah. If you win against Houston, root beer on the house.
Root beer on for everyone.
Yeah. Anyhow, anything else you want to hit? I mean, chat's popping off still. If you guys, if you have takes or chats or something, give in the chat right now. Send in your best idea. This is how we're going to close the show. Send in your best ideas or funny ideas on how to fix this BYU team. I'm seeing an exorcism in the chat. We might need to get a Ouija board in Provo at the Annex. Jordan Hudson. A starting lineup. Maybe that's just the simple answer.
Oh, yeah. I'll give mine. We need
boop
minutes.
It's boop season. It's boop season. Alex said at least a Bronco team would be locked in defensively. Yeah, but they wouldn't cross the 50-yard line. they would just be backcourt violations for 40 minutes.
Yeah, it'd be I formation. We're hitting the A gap, fellas.
I think we need someone to cuss the team out until they cry. Yeah, maybe. I mean, they kind of need maybe a little screw you to this team, man.
I think they need. I'm being serious with this one. A players only meeting. That's usually a bad sign. But no. What do you have to lose at this point, right?
Maybe we do need a players only meeting, or you do the classic Coach K move. Kevin Young gets rid of all the gear. Coach K, whenever they would go on skids like this, they'd lose like Virginia Tech or something. They'd lose 2 straight. Coach K takes everything out of their lockers. You're not allowed to wear any Duke gear. You have to wear like your high school T-shirt and stuff like that. No, all the Duke gear's taken. You lose locker room privileges.
Wow, I did not know that. Or he could pull a Mike Leach and take away the chairs. Be like, everyone's got to stand. Everyone stands on the bench.
I'm here for both of those.
This out.
I like both these. I love the Coach K gear one. I think that's one of the funniest things. Is like, it's just like, what are you doing?
That's so good.
Because every time like the players would tell it in like podcasts later on, they're like, wait, what's going on?
Hey, yo, where my clothes at, bro? We got some awesome ones.
Go pick up
the cute girls that work at Swig and go on a nice date.
We got the people saying the prophet needs to come in.
Jesus second coming.
The Jesus second coming is the only thing saving this team from embarrassing us further. Shoot Durock said, add another G League player so 2 wrongs make a right in this case and end the curse. Jaden Hardy, come on down.
James had a funny one, but we're not going to read. Sorry, James.
Yeah, if you're in the YouTube chat,
you got me,
James.
On that one.
But anyhow, all right, Chase. I think an hour is long enough on a game BYU gave up 99 points to Oklahoma State.
Yeah, me too. Hey, Richie Saunders, you can hear me. Call that players only meeting. It might need to happen.
And Richie, he's bringing it every single game. Like, is there stuff that I wish Richie would have passed a little bit more tonight and everything? Fine. Richie was bringing it tonight, and he always does. Blend Beast in the chat said, I swear I've never seen a dude working at one of those soda shops. I think that's by design. Have you ever seen a dude working at Hooters? I guess, that's an apples to oranges situation.
Oh man.
Get the players to eat a cougar tail before the game. Guarantee it'll work. Maybe so. Maybe that's what they need.
Or I might give them the runs. Thank you, chat. You cheered me up.
Yeah, that was great. That's what we need. Jack said, "Bring Mark Pope into rap, lose yourself." All right, that's where we got to end things. Make sure to follow. Make sure to subscribe. You guys know the drill by now. At Chase_Rogers0, at Karter BA. If you're a college basketball fan, make sure to check out CarterCast College Basketball. Ton of fun stuff on there. We'll have a show out later tomorrow night. Then Chase will be doing some NBA stuff on there as well, so make sure to tune into that at CarterCast and everything. At Church Ball Pod socials, we'll be putting out a bunch of stuff over the weekend and everything as per usual. Field of 68 Podcast Network on the YouTube channel. Chase, tomorrow we will have our Houston preview out later in the afternoon, so check in for that. Apple, Spotify, 5-star review, and then once again, we'll be live. Hopefully this is a much, much better show, and this is the flip side of everything, and this is what gets everything rolling with the win against Houston on Saturday night, and we'll be live reacting to it. Win or loss, make sure to tune in. Field of 68 Podcast.